I'd like to introduce you to a very special film that we have prepared to premiere on this occasion. It deals with the promise of the information age, and it deals with your company's central role with respect to making this new age possible, and in assuring also that its benefits are fully realized by the people of this country. I think you'll enjoy it. It's 20 minutes or so. Roll it, please.
I am a to talk well known to the information. I have a question. What is the information age?
I really don't know exactly.
Just that.
Well, it is progress.
Knowledge.
Output.
Telecommunication, of course, telephones.
The use of computers.
To me, it seems like word processing, satellites, TRS-80s, all these new word processors and stuff.
I've heard a lot about it. I'm not sure what it is, but I think to me.
It's not easy to know what the information age is, or what it will mean to all of us.
But understand it we must. It is now, and it has brought us to a major turning point in history.
In many ways, it parallels in importance other paths whose significance was initially overlooked. Even Londoners of the 1870s recognized the potential of the telephone. Excuse me, sir. What do you think of that new invention, the telephone?
A toy of the new world. We'll never need it in London with our abundance of messenger boys.
Foresight isn't easy to come by.
You're right. When three Bell Laboratories scientists, John Bardeen, William Shockley, and Walter Bratton, invented the transistor in 1947, the news was printed in the New York Times on page 46.
Obviously, it didn't seem very important at the time.
Yet, these scientists received the Nobel Prize for their invention.
Transistors, tiny, reliable devices which amplify and switch signals, replaced the larger and less reliable vacuum tube. And it was the transistor, more than any other single development of our time, that made possible the information age and its marriage of computers and communications.
To understand the information age and its implications, it helps if we understand history itself. Great minds of the past built on the knowledge from those who went before them. Author Robert Burton observed 400 years ago that a dwarf standing on the shoulders of a giant may see further than the giant himself. Today, we stand of history's giants. Ours are the unlimited resources of thought from these great minds and all of mankind. The capacities of the information age, we are able to bring new order and value to these infinite resources.
At Bell Laboratories, the technologies we are creating are helping to shape the information age. We know that this quiet revolution is having a significant impact on people in our society, expanding their minds, increasing productivity, and helping to provide new services and products. I think those of us who are creating the information age have a responsibility to help people understand it and the technologies that are shaping it. From our vantage point, 4 technologies have a key role in the information age: microelectronics, software, systems, and photonics.
Microelectronics. When early transistors were used in computers, one computer filled a room this large.
With microelectronics, we can put all the computing power of such a room into this tiny chip.
Now that you've seen the chip, let me show you what's really there. If you could stand on it, this is what it would look like. These are the areas where information is stored electronically, and here are the paths that carry that information in and out of storage. Now, this part helps control the flow of the program through the chip. And here is the real action area, where all the data are manipulated and where the lightning-fast computations occur. It is a complex, fascinating, minute world.
We're now making transistors smaller and smaller. By putting thousands of them on one chip, we can make the chip do more and more. Right now, we can put more than 250,000 transistors on a half-inch square. And to make a circuit this complex, we have to start with a design this large.
Microelectronics, the first technology of the information age. Computers on a chip, very intricate, very accurate, and very fast. In the time it takes for this pitcher's fastball to reach home plate, traveling, say, around 90 miles per hour, today's microelectronic computer can debit 2,000 checks to 300 different bank accounts, examine 100 electrocardiograms, grade 3,000 school test papers, and have time to spare for other work. For example, it would go about this fast.
Yet, with all their speed, computers are not very smart. They need to be told what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. And for that, we need the second technology of the information age, software.
Software is simply the instruction, the discipline, the program that tells both computers and modern communication systems what to do.
In a very basic way, software is like the information stored in the grooves on this record. They tell the record player what sounds to make and when to make them. Change the grooves, and you change the music. Computers do their work using pulses of energy, on and off signals. And these codes are an example of the third technology of the information age, digital systems.
People have always used codes to send information long distances. A code signaled the start of our first fight for freedom, a simple light code, 1 if by land and 2 if by sea. Today, information, voices, data, pictures, is often coded into pulses of electricity or light. For example, the video cameras on the Voyager spacecraft see an image. The image is broken down into a digital code and transmitted 900 million miles to Earth. Then the image is reconstructed at the Jet Propulsion Lab in California.
When the pulses are light instead of electricity, we have the fourth technology of the information age, photonics.
Photonics was born with two inventions: the laser, which produces special high-intensity light, and hair-thin glass fibers, which are super transparent. With digital laser light pulses, we send all forms of information through these hair-thin glass fibers. We can send even more information by using different colors of light on the same glass fiber. Here we're using a plasma fireball, which is hotter than the sun, to make ultra-pure glass. The glass is so transparent that if seawater were as clear, we could look into the deepest ocean and see the bottom clearly. Before photonics, it took more than 6 copper wire cables to send as many telephone calls as we can now send through this glass fiber cable.
Microelectronics, software, digital systems, photonics. These are the 4 technologies of the information age.
To fulfill the potential of the information age, reliable parts and systems must be manufactured in huge quantities and at reasonable costs.
At Western Electric, manufacturing equipment for the information age is our business. Each year we combine millions of microchips containing billions of transistors with other technologies to create systems that provide information age services. In our latest electronic switching system, all 4 of the information age technologies merge. The microchips provide the memory, the The glass fibers form the communication medium, software directs the calls, and the system is 100% digital.
In microchip manufacturing, the number of components in every chip has been doubling every year for 10 years. And the components here can last for hundreds of years. And in the field of photonics, enough of this high-quality light guide fiber has been made in only 1 year to more than circle the globe.
Information age technology has become an integral part of America's telecommunications network, the world's largest computer. This network is so precisely planned and engineered that it is capable of making any one of 14 million billion possible connections. It is capable of handling millions of voice, video, and data signals simultaneously by way of microwave, cable, light guide, and satellite highways. In addition, the network can now store and use instructions programmed directly by customers, in effect giving customers the ability to, in the future, tailor-make their own individual telecommunications services.
The information age puts Bell operating companies in a strong position with their delivery systems already linked to virtually every home and business, providing both local services and an electronic gateway to the rest of the world. These companies will share in the growth and increasing use of information age services, concentrating on meeting customers' needs with quality communications channels at reasonable prices. To achieve this goal, electronic switching systems, which are essentially computers, already are handling half of all telephone calls and providing options for many new customer services. In short, Bell operating companies are gateways to the technologically dedicated to service.
The information means friendly technology, technology that is easy to use. For example, the Office of the Future can provide both voice services in a single unit. With this experimental set, a person touches a button to receive information. Another feature is electronic mail, which stores messages from others until you ask for them. There is also an electronic directory, which shows the last 10 people you called. Anything appearing on the screen can be sent to another user's screen, where it can be viewed or printed.
Bob, I'm forwarding you the message. It ought to appear on your screen in a...
BTL data. In another experimental system, the unit recognizes voice commands and responds automatically.
Bar plot.
Please wait. Ready for your next request.
Let's see the pie chart now.
Pie chart.
Please wait. Ready for your next request.
That's the information I needed.
Okay, did you get all...
Just as the telephone years ago put our voices where we weren't, today the information age puts our images where we aren't.
Your location. Ready to start?
We're all set to start here, too.
We want to discuss our plans for the magazine.
Jim, We've designed the picture phone meeting service so that people don't need to travel to meetings. The service is so easy to use that anyone can conduct a meeting after a brief demonstration.
First, we have to decide if our budget will allow us to have another color cover.
Monitors display the local and distant conference center. Cameras arranged around the room are voice controlled. The switching is automatic, activated by the speaker's voice. Graphics and written material are picked up by the overhead camera. At just the touch of a button, we can zoom in to pick up details. Slides and overhead transparencies can be transmitted. Hard copy can be made of any picture on the incoming monitor. And if you want a videotape recording of the meeting, you've got it. Again, just press a button. In addition to the overhead camera, there's a multi-purpose camera. You can stand at the end of the table, make a product demonstration, or go to the blackboard and make a few notes.
How does that look?
I think that'll work a lot better for the cover.
The information age will bring visual telecommunications to dozens of American cities, saving people time, money, and inconvenience.
Excuse me. Could you tell me where the Ministry of Industry is?
I have an address.
Do you know where that address is? Okay, thank you anyway.
Just as people speak different languages, so do computers. The information age cannot be fully realized until every computer can communicate with every other computer. Bell researchers have designed an advanced communication service that makes this possible. To understand the immensity of their accomplishment, begin with two computers that speak the same computer language in the same dialect. They communicate directly, one to the other. Add a third with a different language, and direct communication is impossible from either to the other. Now, add Bell's Advanced Communications Service, which can process the language or dialect of any computer and translate it into a communications mode with any other computer, incoming or outgoing. Combine this capacity with data storage and multiply it by as many computers as there are or will be, and you have a measure of the magnitude of this service and its potential for all business customers. Information age technology also will be helping people on the move.
Up to now, mobile telephone users have had to share a few communications channels for an entire city. Result? Busy signals, marginal transmission quality.
We're breaking up here. Bob? Bob?
Now, a new mobile communications system using microelectronics, software, and digital technology solves this problem. The system automatically switches a car's telephone from antenna to antenna as it moves about the city, thus allowing reuse of the available communications channels in each cell, so that many more people, hundreds of thousands, can enjoy the convenience, high quality, and value of mobile phone service in the future. Information age technologies are making phones smaller, so it won't be long before we'll have phones as portable as radio paging is today.
An exciting prospect, but only one of many.
The information age is changing every aspect of our lives, including the way we spend our leisure time. Our television sets and our telephones will become much more versatile, all because of the bringing together of computers and communications. We become friends with computers which are located somewhere else. We can ask our friendly computer questions and get instant answers, whether it's stock prices, or airline schedules, or shopping bargains, or banking transactions, or help with homework projects. All of this helps us to get the information we want in order to make life easier, or to learn more, or to have more fun.
I'm not smart enough to predict the future. What I can try to do is use the changes we've seen in the past to forecast those that may lie ahead for us. Years ago, people needed scribes just to make use of writing, until movable type paved the way for mass literacy. The very idea that people should have access to printed information was a very revolutionary concept. I think much the same thing is happening today in the information age, as computers and telecommunications pave the way for access to information on an unprecedented scale. The use to which we put that access and the information depends on our own human intelligence.
Technology from the Bell system helped create the information age. By Fortune magazine's count, U.S. companies developed 17 of 18 major innovations in the field of solid-state electronics. 12 of them came from Bell Laboratories.
For the Bell system, the future will be no less fulfilling than the past. It all started with the vision of a man named Bell. And the dream and determination of a man named Vail, who committed us to a goal of providing telephone service at reasonable cost to any American who wanted it. For over 100 years, Bell people worked as a team to make it all come true. We did it. We made it all come true. Now, we separate into two teams. Though we are changing the organizational form of the Bell system, we are not changing the character of its companies. The same spirit of service that has been our hallmark throughout history will continue to dominate our business. It is this dedication to service that will ensure that the information age comes where it belongs, to America first.
Thank you. New technologies, new capabilities, new dimensions. I hope this film has been helpful in giving you a clearer picture of the opportunities that we see ahead. And I hope, too, that you have a better understanding of what the clamor is all about. In regulatory circles, in Congress, in the courts, as competitors seek to stake out ever larger shares of promising information age technology.